Well, it is a good day to be back. An excellent journey we've been through. 8 rounds have passed so far. Only 4 weeks until the HPD comes. But we do have to talk about the elephant in the room. The Circuit des 24 Heures du Mans is upon us. With a track length of just 13.5 kilometers and an altitude of 32 meters. That would be a very high track now. You might have trouble you might have trouble breathing at that height. With a partially cloudy track, 15 kilometers hours northeast winds, and a healthy amount of track temperature. Early evening. It'll be a race into dusk as they get ready to go around. They'll only have the one attempt, I think. And you'll have cars like this. Yuko Lescala, Felipe Paiva, Colton Edwards, Alessandro Ranieri, Jason Potter, Stefan Hazley, Gabriel Broli, Roberto Valli, Laurence Roubois, O'Banion. Let's hear that engine again. Oh, that's the sound. Brandon Bowman, Carl JT Moore, Seth Whitaker, Ethan Bass, and Tyler Brown. A motley crew and a motley 4 minutes they have to set a lap time. And it'll all be down to what they can do on track. On board with Yuko Lescala as he tries to cement himself as the good driver this year. Oh, listen to that sound. They'll be doing 300 kilometers an hour going down the Mulsanne straight into Mulsanne 2. Brake. Get down into speed. Down the gearbox. Left. You want to keep the car around 120 kilometers an hour if you can make it. Out you go. Stamp on the throttle. Out. Wide. Coming through. The right kink as you come down towards the Mulsanne chicane is very important. You have to get your braking just exactly right. You need to carry as much speed through it so that your charge pass gulf is excellent. On the throttle. Perfect. In you go. Oh, a little bit of over-rotation. The car not cooperating as he wanted, but back up he goes. You have plenty of times going in, but you can't see them. Felipe Paiva leading the way as of right now for the GT1s. The GT2s are currently still going around themselves. They'll be wanting a good representative time. And some of them are... Carl is a bit faster than a lot of them. Dubois, 5 seconds trailing. It'll be tight. Oh, don't go out into the wall. Lescala flying the Finnish flag, of course. As is tradition. It'll be a long lap. But it'll be in a set of exciting laps. 13 laps, I think, is the choice for today. The poison that they've picked. And Lescala won't be able to qualify in a place because he's just gone off track. That's his second lap. He won't be able to do another. And he won't even have time to do another. Into Ford. The double chicane can pose a problem, especially for the beautiful little car that you see. That's great. Seth not able to pip the post of Carl JT Moore. Ethan Bass coming home in third. The last car that I can see that can set a time, apart from Lescala, he's not going to be able to set a time. Brown, I think, is the only other one. I'd be very surprised if Felipe Paiva could set another one. But when he crosses the line, we'll go through the qualifying list. In through. Right then left. Swing it around wide, then right then left again. Bounce for the car, you need to keep it nice and steady. Brown crosses the line. Where does he go? A 4:03 puts him in 4th in class. And I tell you, when these cars have the HPDs, you'll see it. You'll see it. You'll see the difference. It'll be a big one. Did I ever mention that the HPD is coming to this series? We confirmed it 2 weeks ago with our man Seth Whitaker. He was so very glad to come and talk to us and spill the beans. He spilt the beans. Of course, he got confirmation that he could. The personal gut feeling I have is that the DBR9s will have a much better time, especially through this section, out of Porsche. Past karting. Out you come. You need to keep it nice and wide. But they won't have enough time. And he's out of fuel. But we're also out of time ourselves. So let's get jumping right into it. A palaver of cars out there. I think the total is 16 cars on track. And this is how they stacked up. Felipe Paiva with a 346.265 puts him into first, with Potter in second with a 347.353. Ranieri with a 348.780. Stefan Hazley in fourth with a 353.365. Duvra with a 351.406. Then we get into the GT2s. Carl JT Moore with the Lost Boys, Ozjet and a 351.757. Valley with a 352.394. Brawley with a 354.118. Seth Whitaker with a 354.238. Ethan Bass with a 355.710. Bagnon with a 358.305. And Brown with a 4-minute 3.860. The non-qualifiers are Yuko Leskala, Daniel Robinson, Colton Edwards, and Brandon Bowman. They will have all of the work to do, but they will, I will say this, will be looking a bit scared, a bit spooked, but ready for the challenge. A massive charge down into turn 1, and then into Dunlop, out through Dunlop, and then through oh. See, this is what happens when you forget where bits are of the track. Yeah, it is Chappelle. That's next up. Then on towards Tertre Rouge. And then all the way on then through that huge charge of Mulsanne. Pace car has started to depart. And the guys will have to keep their wits about them. The lights will be on, simply due to the fact that they will be racing into the night. If any of you are listening, give us a flash for the cameras. Come on. I know you can. That's the GT1 field. The GT2 field will be stacked right behind them. As a reminder, it is laps, not time, that'll keep them. But on the perspective, it'll be around 45 minutes, given the pace. There's the GT2s. They're getting the tyres warmed up. That is going to be Carl JT Moore on pole, Seth Whitaker in second, Ethan Bass in third, and Tyler Brown in fourth. But the main concern that you should keep your eyes on is this lot. Felipe Paiva, a very quick driver. Jason Potter, done very well for himself today. Did a good job qualifying. Punching well above his weight in the 9 car. But the surprise is Yuko Leskila. He's a very quick driver, but he messed up both of his qualifying times and is stuck right behind everybody else. And I think will be kicking himself that it happened as it did. Those are the tricolours passing overhead. The French national anthem would have played, and the racers will be ready. As the pace car comes off, it'll be down to Felipe Paiva, and he has already got in a head start. Look at him go! Green flag racing here for 13 laps of the LeMans circuit. A absolute gem to have, with GT1s absolutely charging down. Yuko Leskila already making gains, but almost 3 wide coming into turn 1. You need a wide camera when you're doing this, by the way, because I tell you, the racing on track is going to be monumental. The draft battles as well. That's Carl JT Moore, Seth Whitaker, and Seth losing a position, going wide, coming through Dunlop. In through the left right-hander before you come up to Chateau Rouge. Be sure not to make a mistake as you come through. See that blue section there? If you make a mistake and you go out too wide, well, that's your race done, I'm afraid. A massive charge down, 315 kilometers an hour, and this is what it looks like on his onboard. Wide coming out of it, has already lost touch. Alessandro Ranieri, what a lovely Italian name. Out wide, shifting early. Maybe he has gone too early, but does he have a slicker car? Pulls alongside, too wide coming through. Already 3 kilometers an hour faster. Brakes as Jason Potter yields the position and holds station, but he's overextended himself. That is Alessandro Ranieri in the wall. Issues further back as well. Oh dear, it's been helter-skelter. Let's have a look at this. That was Robinson having to brake early as, oh Jesus, that's the number 7 of Colton Edwards missing his brake mark. Everybody had to check up, and that's going to annoy the cornflakes of one Leskila. Roberto Valli having to serve a slowdown. Oh, it's already getting started. Whitaker back up into second. Made the pass in Ethan Bass on the Mulsanne straight, and is now charging towards. You will have a inkling of slipstream. That's Felipe Paiva. Mistake made. What happened here? And he's towed. And this is a mistake all on his own. Oh no. No. Oh, and there goes his engine. Philippe, oh my goodness. So Jason Potter literally is now the lead because he kept safe. What is going on? Lap 1 out of 13, and the boys have already given us plenty to work with. Leskila hounding the inside of Robinson. Robinson trying to hold himself together. He sees the really beigey yellow headlights of Yuko Leskila. Leskila with a bit between his teeth. A little bit of a misshift there, a little bit of a wobble. Leskila holds. Through forward. Right, left. Carry it out wide. Right, left. Off we go. And if you want to see just how hard he charges, precision hold, wait for the car to bite it. In. Oh, a bit wide, coming through the first half of Dunlop. And losing time. I want to see this man right here. Stefan Hazley. Neat and tidy. Beaumont letting drivers through. Seth and Carl GT Moore about to start a battle. Game on. You can just see the rear headlights of Jason Potter, can Stefan Hazley. And if you looked at it, you would have said that they would have been almost, you know, at the hips of each other. But 2 seconds is a long way for these cars. Potter extending his lead as best he can. In the background, that was Alessandro Ranieri, who had the mistake. He did not hit the wall, and he's back out. So I wish to correct myself for my earlier mistake. Up into 5th already, Yuko Leskala. Having started in such a torrid moment, both of his qualifying laps not made. Has to make it up on the track. Will make the pass for 4th, you would hope, but will he be able to do it through the second Mulsanne? Kink on the right. Got it. Down to the Mulsanne chicane. Braking is important. Over the right shoulder. Lets it drift back. He'll get the chance, don't you worry. Just needs to nail his exit. He does. And holding the slipstream. Very close now. 6/10 goes to 5/10. And 5/10 goes to 4. Swing it in. A wobble from Robinson. Robinson is feeling the pressure most definitely right now. And that is a pass. If the board wasn't blocking for the lead. Seth finally makes the pass. Coming down into... That is going to be Indianapolis. Sweeping left. Made the pass on Gulf. Right. Very square. You need to really get the right one on this one, and if you don't, there's a really nice wall there ready to greet you. Looking at Carl's onboard now on his view as he sees it. Let's Seth just have a whiff of freedom now. Not much he can do. Sat behind. He just needs to wait for Seth to continue driving him around. How's you driving? If you don't like his driving, 1-800-PROTEST. Nimcross will be your excellent guide for what is good and what is not good in terms of motor racing. Lets him go again. Not going to be able to... That is a car off. That's going to be Kevin O'Banion going off there. Not important for our racing right now, but does throw off Seth. Carl focused as ever. Lap 3 for these guys. He lifts again. He really wants to hold position. He does not want to make the pass. Save the tires. Let Seth do all the work. That's all he needs to do. Three-way battle. Robinson chasing down Dubois. And Leskala is chasing down the both of them. As I said, bit between his teeth. He didn't get the qualifying that he wanted. And I say, if he had a race engineer in his ears, he would say, give me all the power you can bloody well give. Otherwise, I am stuffed. In, right, left, right again. Let the car sweep out, get maximum power, scrub the tires as least as possible. Otherwise, you are in a world of hurt if the car suddenly veers and it just goes off the course. Second part of Mulsanne. Coming up towards Mulsanne 2. Lift off the brakes. Let the car drift in. You're not going to make up much time doing this. He needs to get going soon. It may say 30 minutes on the clock, or 40 minutes on the clock now. But that's 40 minutes on the clock if you're able to qualify at your greatest pace. It's still only 10 laps left. Lap 3. Sweeping out wide. Dubois really making that car go wide as he can be. Hugo Lescala now has really caught up to the back end. The cork in the bottle is now set. Dubois really under a lot of pressure, as one would be. On the inside, makes the defensive move. On the inside goes Robinson. Robinson will probably tow along Hugo Lescala. Could Lescala make the 1-2 happen? He needs to make the move. The side-by-side is still going into Indianapolis, but the move is made by Robinson. Oh! Inside he goes. Poor Dubois. 2 positions lost in 2 corners. But a 5th place finish is a 5th place finish. Still counted by iRacing. Carl really chopping at the feet, at the bit between his teeth. Seth Whitaker leading him around as the light outside grows dimmer and dimmer. Oh, Seth is flirting with that wall a bit too close, if I'm being honest. He might end up making a mistake if he is not careful and smashing it into the wall. Through he goes. Right, left. Through the Porsche curves. Keep it outside of the wall. Left. Sweeping right-hander. You need to hug the corner as close as you can. Onto karting. Oh, a bit of a slip there from Seth. Kissed the grass. Probably not what you want to be doing. And that is Robinson with a slowdown, I think. Comes through. Oh, that might just be the slowdown. A bit too far wide coming out onto karting. Let's see if he went on the inside coming through. Let's see. He'll still have time to serve it. Yes, he had to serve a slowdown. Telltale signs right there. Is now a second behind and losing distance quite rapidly. I think he had to serve yet another slowdown. God, I love the strobing lights. On down into Mulsanne 1. Dubois looking for revenge. Not because anything bad happened, but because he wants his place back. He wants to get back up there. He wants to be in 3rd position, not in 5th. 5th, ugh. He wants to be 5th. 5th is the 4th of the losers. He'll have the slipstream. Up he gets. Holding formation behind. Does he make the move coming into Mulsanne 2, or will he wait until he gets into the Mulsanne chicane or onto Gulf? Carl is bump drafting. He is bump drafting Seth. Never thought I would see that, but there you go. Didn't know this was NASCAR there, Carl. Would you want to explain that for us? Alessandro Ranieri. Chasing down Roberto Valli. Audi couldn't even come up with a a better movie title. You know, if you've ever seen the documentary on Audi versus Lancia by the Grand Tour, this is much better because this is Aston Martin. English restraint versus American muscle. And Alessandro just made mincemeat of the B8 motor that sits inside the car number 12. On he goes to Dubois. Dubois will be his next target. He's been lapping 3 seconds a lap faster. He's quick, but that one mistake he made almost sent him into the wall at the second Mulsanne, and has to really pick up the pieces. 2 retirements so far. We saw Felipe Paiva's crash and Colton Edwards' really bad accident. I think both suffered hardware failures of some description. Through exits onto karting. Now, 4 seconds is a lot to make up, but the fact that he did take it, you know, that much out of him on that last lap, I would imagine that Dubois is looking in his rearview mirrors and looking very nervous. Robinson doing a very good job keeping up with Leskila, but he's just outside the slipstream range, and if he continues losing time, it might actually be curtains. Makes up 0.2 of a second on that set of corners. Really not. The Dunlop chicane is really not agreeing with Leskila at the moment. Watch the speedo as it goes up. This is what I live for, just watching the speedo go up and up. 200 kilometers an hour, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290. Air resistance now is going to be absolutely magnificent. 300 kilometers an hour. Can he do 210? 310? Yes, he can. 315. Almost 200 miles an hour. 315 kilometers an hour and a little bit of a slip. Bringing back in Robinson again. Good exit from Robinson. He'll have the smallest margin of slipstream. 340 or 240, 250, 260. He has slipstream. He's gaining. $300. In through. Oh my goodness, that's a slip. Another slip from Leskila. On entry, the car just did not agree with them. 1 second the difference. Robinson, an unlikely charger. 3,600 iRacing versus 7,000. And he's catching into the Mulsanne chicane. Is that a... Oh, I thought that was a safety car there for a second. It looked like a safety car. See, from the rear, it kind of looks like the safety car. It's like, is that the safety car? What's it doing out there? .7 of a second separating Robinson and Leskila. Leskila under pressure. He's very fast, but will be all corked up. That's Stefan Hazley. Oh, a little bit of a slip coming out of it. The car wobbling under pressure. You want to be very, very gentle with these cars. They're monsters of machines, but you are not going to have a very good time if you wrestle the car. It still needs to be taken with a bit of care. Seth Whittaker has been overtaken, by the way, from Carl J.T. Moore. I think we do have a margin report. This is on Carl's view. Seth goes in. Carl, a mistake into the second Mulsanne. Essentially hands back the position. At least Seth didn't lose complete slipstream and has caught right back up to the back end. That would have been a death sentence if it happened like that. Robinson! My goodness, what's going on with Leskala? Leskala losing time. Not what we expected. Stefan Hazley's able to run away again. Under pressure, Robinson. The bit between his teeth. He's got this. Just not need... Oh, a little bit of a mistake, though. Can he wind it up? Yes, he can. Needs to wind it up, not making another mistake. If he does, he's going to be kaput. 9/10 of a second. We'll close quite quickly. Already at speed parity, and the gap is going the wrong way for Leskala. 8/10. 7/10. Slipstream absolutely massive. Speed difference between the two of them is 4 kilometers an hour at the maximum. Much cleaner through. Ethan Bass coming into the pits. Tyler Brown, by the way, had a retirement. Let me see if I can bring that one up. Tyler Brown, what happened to you, my friend? Oh! Not having the best of times out there at all. Oh, he just pulled it in. Leskala. The surprise of the day. Qualified, well, didn't even put in the time for qualifying. And has to now deal with that consequence because he's not where he wants to be. He wants to be racing on his own, up at the front. But Jason Potter's doing that. And Jason Potter is already just blasting. An amazing drive by him. He's just able to just do qualifying lap after qualifying lap. 3:46.846 was his last lap. And his best. Stefan Hazley just needs to hang on. We're past the halfway point coming up when they cross the line. He just needs to hope and pray that Leskala still gets hounded, and 0.4 of a second separates the two of them. Back around the 6th to 7th position, that's Roberto Valli battling Alessandro Ranieri for position of 6th position. Why do I have to do a Murray Walker side? And in my view, Alessandro Ranieri doing a fantastic job in that Aston Martin with absolute brevity. That is Daniel Robertson for the 4th position. He is battling Yuko Leskala for the 3rd position, and in my view, the 3rd position is the most important position because it's the first step to getting to the top of the podium. Yuko Leskala, absolutely magnificent in his car. Did not set a qualifying time. What a shame. I'll stop doing the Murray Walker. Robinson. Still keeping it good. He does not need to make the same mistake he did when he came through the first time round. Remember, on that last lap, he came through. Oh my goodness! Leskala again! And he's lost! He's lost that 3rd position. My goodness, he really is not having a nice time in that car. Let's have a look on board. Surprise of the day. Oh! That car really is not cooperating with him right now. And another slowdown. Really bizarre. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, that's just way too wide there coming through. A pit stop for Carl JT Moore. 11 seconds in the box. Do they not have enough fuel to make it to the end? That's going to be Seth Whitaker using Ethan Bass and Slipstream. I really would have thought Carl had it under him. Banyan again having issues. Roberto Valli trying to chase down Alessandro Ranieri, who's trying to chase down Laurence Dubras. Car number 13 really is struggling right now. Setting laps at the 350 range. 348.563 for Alessandro Ranieri. And Roberto Valli is doing better, even still. 347.856 in that last lap. It is a bit helter-skelter though. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't see half the track. And that's not because somebody forgot to switch on the lights. There is only strategic lights on this back part of the track. You can see one of them. The rest is lit up by headlights and headlights alone. Through Indy. Sweeping left-hander into the square right-hander, going back on towards the back straight. Boisson. Through the Porsche curves. I'm telling you, when you have cars that are going through these curves, this is the problem that you have, especially at night. Only your headlights are viewing or lighting up the track ahead of you. You can see the Ferris wheel. If anybody's on the Ferris wheel, you've saved me a spot. Oh, that's going to be a slowdown for Roberto Valli. Alessandro Ranieri in contention for a 5th position. Robinson, a unlikely contender who had lost position to Lescala. Lescala not winding it up. He really is struggling out there for some reason. Having a few mistakes. Robinson doing so good of a job. And by the way, give it up for Stefan Hazley. Don't, God, please don't. I don't want to curse you, Stefan. Please, Stefan, please. I want you to get 2nd place, man. And look how quiet it is for Potter. This is him, POV. You're first, and 11 seconds ahead. Seth Whitaker into the pits, as is Ethan Bass. It'll be important to see how Carl JT Moore squares this one away. Oh no, I've done it again, haven't I? No, I haven't. No, sorry, that was Robinson's time to have a mistake. Outbroke himself. But still in slipstream range. So, it's all about the friends we made along the way. Alessandro Ranieri has made the pass. Laurence Dubras had a mistake, and I think he had to serve a slowdown. And is under severe threat from Roberto Valli. Seth coming out 2 seconds behind Carl JT Moore with very similar lap time, or very similar pit stop times. 8/10 on the money for Carl JT Moore. It'll be very difficult for Seth to make up that. Let me tell you, unless he gets into slipstream range, very difficult at this distance to consider that slipstream. More like the hopes and dreams that you can at least get there. In you go. Tidy as can be. Using the center line of the track to how should I put this? Make good the thing. If you want the technical explanation, here you go. The track is actually slightly bowed, as is most normal street roads, like the ones that you would drive on, especially on big roads like motorways. It's like a house, except it's only very slightly raised. However, that is enough. If you place the car just exactly right, you are actually getting better on iRacing in this case. A slightly better use of what is considered ground effect, where the car is sucked closer to the ground, it's tighter. Therefore, oh! Well, it's not going to help in this case when the slipping slips. Losing more time for poor Seth. Not what he wanted. Stefan Hazley into the pits. Robinson, that's not the pits. You are probably going to get a black flag. Leskila, on he goes. Lap 9 as of current. Potter. Good job by him. Alessandro back up into third temporarily, though. The pit stops are coming in. That's Robinson in the pits. That's Stefan Hazley in the pits. Seth cranking that wheel like a flibberty gibbet. In he goes through Boisson. Needs to nail Porsche curves if he even has to have a chance of coming back out. I can confirm that there was a black flag issued for Robinson due to unsafe pit entry, simply because he lost control of the car, went over the white lines, and if you do that, it punishes you. Oh, it punishes you. But Stefan safely back out. Remember, consistency. That's all you need. And sometimes that really does save the day. As of right now, main goal will be to get Roberto Valli up to his compatriot Alessandro Ranieri. On the inside, tried looking. I mean, I would freak out if this is the only thing I was able to see it. Well, I mean, it's just normal driving, but there's no other lights. If you break your front end and you have to drive in the blind, it is possible to do it without being issued a black and orange flag. Trust me, ask me how I know. It is freak o'clock when that happens, because you cannot see. You literally cannot see. You can only see bits, like as in here, like where it's like slightly lit, and you're panicking everywhere else. You're just hoping that the rest of the lights can help you. Yeah, it's great when you have, like, 40 or 50 cars on the track, but when you have like 10, 15, on the inside goes Roberto. No, it does not make the move. Alessandro making mistakes into Indianapolis. Side by side, Dubois and Valli go. Dubois making the very sensible decision to defend on the inside. Squares it off, but delays the two of them. Poor Robinson back out. I'd say he's kicking himself now. That was a very good charge that he did. Jason Potter, in he goes. Blink his lights to signify that he is coming into the pits, or is in pit lane. Escala making now through the S's, on through into past Dunlop. Chappelle. Through onto Tetra de Rouge. Did not make the same mistake that he did before. Jason Potter already out. Where does that leave Stefan Hazley? Comfortably in third. Well done. If Atvo would not freeze. Through Chappelle. Poor Seth. Losing touch with Carl. Carl, I think, just has that underneath him. But he does not need to make a mistake. He did wobble a bit. He did threaten to wobble. 13 minutes left. 3 laps to go. Isn't that is the Valve Index logo? Is Seth Whitaker a fellow Valve Index enjoyer? Robinson back out. Challenging for places. Oh, what is that livery? Do I even want to know? Let's refresh it. I like the colors. Okay. What else positive can I say about it? It's got anime on it. Lescala, unless he's a madman, will have to have pitted. Or will have to pit. Brandon Bowman, by the way, and Kevin O'Banion are the latest to retire. Brawley, looking at the back end of Robinson. In he goes. Robinson has a bit of damage, though. There he is, coming into the pits. Yuko Lescala, 32 seconds in the pocket. Will have to pit for roughly around 14 to 15 seconds, depending on how much fuel he used. But let's see. In he goes. Into his box. Perfect strat. Into the box he goes. Potter will most definitely clear him. That's just a given. What about Stefan Hazley? Remember what I said. Consistency is key. Is he consistent enough to... Oh my goodness. 9 seconds? He's leapfrogged Stefan Hazley. But Stefan still gets third. As long as he doesn't, you know, make a mistake. I'm crossing my fingers. I have touched wood. You know, I'm touching my desk. I am hoping and praying Hoping beyond hope. Doing some praging. Very prage. Stefan a little bit wide coming out of Chapelle through Treacher Rouge. Nicely done. Now, I do think the fight is on for the lead, though. Because Leskila has been... This is the closest he's been to the lead since the start of the race. If Leskila has lit the fire under his back bottom, I can safely say that he is not going to be happy with how his race started. I'm telling you. Love that. Now, Stefan Hazley, I think, might have an issue. Not with his hardware, anyway, that he's driving. But this man. A man that is slightly faster. That is Alessandro Ranieri, who had an accident at the start of the race and has now had to fight his way back. 4th position he currently sits. Podium could be his. Lap 11 of 13. Seth currently sat in 2nd. Behind this man, Carl JT Moore, who's just been doing absolutely good flying laps. 353, 2072 was his last lap. Can Carl take the crown? And by the crown, I mean first place in his class. We have 2 laps to find out. Ranieri is definitely closing that gap. Looking on board with Stefan Hazley's view. He sees the headlights. It's going to be very scary for him. But Stefan, you have it. I believe in you. I believe. I believe. You know, if you're Stefan Hazley in this case, I just realized this. You're punching so far well above your weight. As is Jason Potter. Let's not break that fact. You're punching so far above your weight. And you have this man, Yuko Leskila, sort of just like omnipresent, waiting, eternally waiting. In he comes. Into the Mulsanne chicane. Chasing down this man. 13 seconds separates them though. Stefan Hazley, all you need to do is remain constant, my friend. Alessandro Ranieri just needs to be faster and more constant. Well, the same level of consistency and faster. In you go. Through you go. Out of Indianapolis, on towards Boisson. Little bit of a slip-up. Again, this is plaguing the drivers. Little slip-ups just cause problems. And it's causing problems, as in, you're losing time. Problems. In through the exit of Porsche curves, on towards karting. Sweeping left-hander. Don't chuck it out too far wide. It is going to be white flag now for Jason Potter. He just has to survive for another 3 minutes 35 seconds. And he'll be home free. Seth hoping beyond hope that Carl JT Moore will make a mistake that'll bring the two of them closer together. But that is going to be difficult. It needs to happen, you know, quite essentially. It needs to happen quite essentially, quite quick, really, because if it doesn't happen, it's going to be, you know, a bit difficult for both parties in this case. White flag for Carl JT Moore. You know, when you mute your microphone, you forget to unmute it. There was another mistake from Yuko Leskala. He's lost 3 seconds. And losing more. Has he underfueled by accident? Could potentially be, but our eyes do have to turn to Jason Potter. He's still losing time. But will it be enough so that Stefan Hazley can catch up? even more time lost. He's lifting like crazy. Jason Potter coming through, by the way. Oh my goodness, that was a drive and a half. David does beat Goliath, and I am pretty sure he is going to be exceptionally happy with that. That is a majestic drive. Well done, Jason Potter. And it unfortunately does not matter. Luca Lescala did make it to the end by the skin of its teeth and the grapple of its britches. But a shout out to Stefan Hazley. Podium. Beating just about Alessandro Ranieri, who had a torrid time of it all, but a great drive back from him. Lawrence Duprat, Daniel Robinson, Gabriele Brolli will all come across the line. The shout out, of course, has to go to this man, Carl J.T. Moore, who he himself had to battle with Seth in the background. I imagine that that was a bit of a torrid time for him. But second is not too bad as well. And as the iRacing spotter would say, you won! Woohoo! They had nothing for you, mate. Alright, there's a checkered flag. Good job. Very good job. And a good job by all, as they all now finally come across the line. And for us, it is time for us to go over the qualifying, or not the qualifying, but the race results. Because that was majestic. As we said, Jason Potter... Not Jason Potter. It is Jason Potter, isn't it? It is Jason Potter. I keep thinking James Potter. So that's not it. It's Jason Potter wins on the day, with Yuko Lescala coming home in second. Stefan Hazley, very well-deserved podium in third, with Ranieri, what could have been, in fourth. Dubras in fifth. Robinson in sixth. Brolly in seventh. And then Roberto Valli, Kevin O'Banion, Brandon Beaumont, Felipe Paiva and Colton Edwards were the ones that round out the rest of the GT1 field. Carl J.T. Moore in first, with Seth Whitaker in second, Ethan Bass in third, Tyler Brown in fourth. And a very dark, gloomy night here in Lyon, France, on the circuit of Le Mans, will close us out for now. Thank you all so much for joining in on the fun. Thank you all so much for, once again, taking the time out of your day to watch along with us. If you like what you see, click the like button, subscribe so you don't miss a moment here on Raidillon TV, because next week we will be back for more GT Thrustmaster Challenge, with the next race being at Suzuka Circuit. 30-minute race there. A grand old time. But this has been Robert O'Brien. This has been Raidillon TV. This is the only corner you need. Good evening, one and all.